Well, hi everybody.
Well,
Hi Janine. We're having technical difficulties again, and even Janine left her room that she's in, the haunted room, and her phone moved because I'm watching it and it's broadcasting, and it moved while she was out of the room. That was crazy. Do you have something that does say that we're live? Because for whatever reason, they're not showing me that.
yeah, mine says that we're currently live.
Isn't that weird? So crazy. Well, anyway, hi and happy St. Patrick's Day, Janine.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Like, I just put green on just now.
Did you?
I did. I really had hopes for, like maybe getting a little Guinness or something, and I couldn't find my green Mardi Gras beads and all that. But I've been my youngest moved out today, and I didn't think he was going to stay the night there.
Oh,
I
okay.
he was going to ease into it, and he goes, "I'm taking my pillow, I'm going," and we're like, you're out." So yeah, that was kind of a hard thing, but it is what it is. That's the way it's supposed to go. So anyway, did you do anything special today? A special meal or anything?
No, I've been battling a migraine for 2 days, so I kind of just slept most of the day.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, no worries. It's the weather shifts and the barometric pressure that gets me every time.
What is totally going on with your phone or that room? Because we had the craziest time with that phone, falling and moving and everything while we were trying to get ready today.
Grandpa's been pretty active in the house today. I've been moving some stuff around, and some of it was his items. So I think that he's like, "What are
Oh.
you doing?"
Oh, I just got that tingling on the back of my neck that when a spirit's here, when you started talking to him, it's like a buzz right there, just sitting. It's crazy. You guys, it's a little bit okay. I can see. I wanted to double check. We are live. I totally can, feel it, and it's become more pronounced when a spirit comes in. It's really tingly now, more than it ever has been before. So totally, I know that something's going on. And I was just reading an account of this guy that had a spirit go through him, and it's just absolutely the way it is. It feels like this tingly thing, vibration is just going right through you. But they just sit behind me. And so when one comes in, I know we've gotten a spirit. Oh, look it. We've got Carlos. Happy Debbie. Oops. Hey, Debbie. Hi,
Hi,
Janine,
Carlos.
he says. Hey, Carlos. Anyway, you were just talking about your grandpa, and that just came in, and it's like, wow, I think that's a validation that you do have that there. He's there and he's moving stuff around. Do you think that he was unhappy things were being moved, or were they being moved out?
I moved quite a few boxes of his and my grandmother's belongings to the garage this morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
because we're getting ready to paint.
yeah. Yeah, we're going to be doing that too. I think I'm going to set up a studio in one of the extra rooms we have now. And then I just go in and broadcast, be all ready. I do have a new toy here. I got my Periscope came in, and it's not doing a heck of a lot. I have to let some spirits in, but I guess you just press it in the middle, and I think it still glows a little bit. It looks like it, but I press it like that, and then we'll set it, and hopefully it will light up when a spirit comes in, and we can get some yes no things. So anyway, I'm going to set it on the shelf. It came with not a paper or anything to
Oh,
say
wow.
how to load the batteries, what it is, how to use it. No, nothing at all. And I thought that was a
Nothing.
little strange. And they had to build it, which was interesting. So we'll see if that goes out. I'm not going to be able to really see it too much tonight. If somebody sees it, they can, put a comment in. But anyway, we have something fun coming up, don't we, Janine?
We sure do.
Ooh, do you want to tell everybody what we're going to do?
So next Sunday, we will be doing a live seance.
Oh, but we're going to change the time for you guys on the East Coast. So we're going to change it, start it an hour earlier. So it'll be 7 p.m. Pacific time. So you guys can watch and join in. Oh, that tells me I didn't put a ghost app on my phone. So we've invited another medium in our group, The Dead Talk, and that's Sean. And I don't know, I think Chris is going to come. She'll have her paranormal. Good. Paranormal equipment. And then we will go ahead and do stream live seance. It may be, 3 of us. Another medium might come in. But I'm kind of, it's fine to have this little intimate seance, but we want to play along with you guys. So make sure that you have, if you want us to contact someone that's passed on, and we would love to do that. And have your ghost apps on also. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda's here, Janine.
Hi, Rhonda.
And so we're excited to do that. And I put a little graphic ad up so that you guys can save the date at 7, live stream seance on Sunday. And I can't wait.
I'm excited. This will be fun.
It is going to be fun. I'm going to have food for us and everything for before or after, just for fun. And we'll see what we can get. Well, I know that we're going to see some spirits. I've got something going on in my office, and every day something is bamming or making a noise over there. It always seems to be over by the closet, and there's nothing there. There's nothing over there. So no pipes, no nothing. So I don't know what's going on, but I get a lot of stuff. Started having names and words, and then talking, and then I'm always like, hello, and I go, well, no, I guess not. So just a little right before we broadcast, there was somebody came into the room. So I'm in a suite. So I go over to the front door because I'm thinking that my husband needs something. He's downstairs watching TV. So I'm like, okay. Well, it just sounded like somebody opened the door and walked in. So that was rather interesting. But for the spirit of the holiday, happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear green today, but I want to, because I did a DNA test I go, oh my goodness, look I'm Irish. I didn't know. All these years I could have said that, kiss me, I'm Irish or something. I had no idea. So anyway, I hope everybody had a good time or a good meal or something like that. Maybe I'll hit it next year and have the time for that. But kind of missed out a little bit. I feel bad because I would love to celebrate it, but we, I had no parade here. The parade for San Diego was yesterday.
Yeah, it was downtown where I work.
Oh, did you get to see anything?
No, I caught the tail end because of when I ended up going in was on an emergency because it was my day off. But the parking down there was a nightmare. There was a lot of people in green.
Well, I went to the dark market. Did you see any of my pictures?
I did. That's awesome. I want to go visit that. That's cool.
I think this was the first year that they did it, and they need more foot traffic. But it was so interesting and funny that you see everybody wearing all black. Everybody's tattooed. It was pretty neat. They had some really bizarre things, and for that, I expected to see a little bit of, the very odd things. And I won't say what some of it was. Some of it teetered on some, nudity and different things like that.
Oh,
and but they had barf art.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the guy who did soft porn, as he says, and it's made of like fuzzy material, and he made like somebody throwing up, and he made skulls, like voodoo stuff and things like that. And he was very, very nice, but this is what he makes, sculptures. And so that was interesting. They had a lot of pentagram stuff and pins, and they had only one food truck, and it was like vegan stuff. So they need to get more, and they're just, it's the first time.
Just starting.
Yeah, it was at a brewery. And then the most popular booth was the one selling the beer.
Of course, right.
And they had a lot of interesting art and T-shirts and things like that. And then when we went inside, we saw like Blackbird, La Mesa, metaphysical store, or I'd say more of a cult store. And I met everybody there. Marcus, shout out to Marcus Keys. I want to have him on one of our shows. He was very interesting guy. And so I have a picture on the website of him, and everybody was great. I met witches and all kinds of different people like that, and very interesting stuff. And I hope it grows and grows and grows, because would be a fun one to go to once they get more vendors and things like that. But it was fun. It was different, and I'd absolutely go again. I wore a vampire shirt, so everybody was saying yes, they were vampires too. And I'm like, well, it says part vampire, it's joke. But yeah, it was fun. Lots of witches and different people like that. So it was interesting, and made a connection with some people. I posted their picture on the website. That was a lot of fun to do it. Oh, hi, Julie. Julie's here.
Hi, Julie.
Rhonda says, I did the same thing, and I found out I'm 7% Irish. Yes, Rhonda. Everybody, though, today is Irish. Every single one. Carlos, you are Irish with us. We're all Irish today. Just to have fun and be able to have the corned beef and all that good stuff. So the dark market was different, but I found out literally at the last minute they were having it. People were interested once they saw what I posted. But, they were wondering, why in the world didn't we hear? And we're going because this is the first time they did it. So, but Kim tells me there's a goblin market that's really good, and some other ones like that. So I said, I'm in. I want to go. I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. I got to take a sip. It's non-alcoholic, I got to say. This is not lighting up. We don't have any spirits. I want it to light up. It will when we have the seance. Julie, we're going to have a live stream seance on the 24th. It's going to be really cool. And we'll be down in a big room, and I'm going to have candlelight and the crystal balls out and everything. We just really do it up. Invite all the spirits in and see what happens. So it'll be interesting. What I found too, Janine, is that when we go to places that are not warded and there's no protections in, that's when we get all that crazy stuff that happens. And
yeah, we definitely have to put the protections in place to make sure that we know what's coming in. And
yeah, especially in my house. But I do like it when we go to a place like the 10th Avenue Theater or something where there really isn't too much put in. And that's when you really can get some stuff done. Yeah, this could be a lot of fun. I can't wait. How it's gonna work is that we'll and I do have a tipping table. We should practice.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I have a tipping table there, and so we will invite the spirits in after we, put a protection in and make sure that our guides and the angels and everybody are with us. Then we'll invite the spirits in, and we'll let them, come in to communicate. Janine and Sean and I work super good together. We'll see the same people. We had a connection with one at one place, down in the college area, where we could see the same person. Janine and I did, and I'm like, and does he look like this and this tall and this and dressed like that? And we had that connection. And Sean and I always see the same person. There's something there where we're on the same wavelength. So this should work out really, really good. But what we want you guys to do during the seance, or probably when we first start, is to give us some names of some loved ones that you'd like to get a message from. And we'll connect. We're going to tell you who comes in, and we'll describe them. We'll see if we get any names of anybody, or we get a description. And then we'll go ahead and focus in on some of the people that you give us. And we'll see, when we look at the world, you guys have to understand, like Janine and I connect with people all over the world, and we do readings for them, and we can tell them what's going on. So we can absolutely do it for you when we are live at the seance. Hi, Becky. Hi, Becky Jane. She says hello. Hello. So it's going to be so exciting to do that. And in the future, and I haven't really talked to Janine about this, but we have the capability of bringing you guys in. We can bring you in audio, just audio if you like, or on the camera, or we could put an avatar up for you if you want to ask some questions. Rhonda, we are going to have the live streaming seance early at 7 p.m. Pacific on March 24th, so next Sunday. And we have a nice room, we have a tipping table, we have crystal balls, and we're bringing in at least one more medium and a paranormal investigator. So we'll have control over that room to do that. So all you guys will have to do, and I'll post what we'd like you guys to do on the fan page. We want you to give us names, be on there live with us so we can connect with you, and give us names. If you want to send me a picture, a private message, a picture of a piece of jewelry, a ring, what else can they, eyeglasses, what can they give us? That almost like a mental
like a
psychometry. There we go.
A letter that was written by somebody.
Yeah, any picture of anything, we can show that and connect to it. You have to not set limits when you do seances. People will say, well, I don't think you can do that. Well, yes, you can. And I've learned that. Janine knows that, the sky's the limit. The universe is the limit when we are working metaphysically and with the energy and with the other side. So we will absolutely do that. Oh, good, Rhonda. So it's not going to be 8 p.m. It's going to be 7, so that we can get the East Coast people in. And matter of fact, if it ends up that's a better time for everybody, we can move, we can change. We're flexible with the Sunday show. We just like it to be dark, a little spooky, and all of that. And we're going to have Chris is going to have her 360 periscope. This is a smaller one, and let's see if I can get it up like that. Why is it I want it to make some colors, even if I turn it on and off? I don't even know if I'll make it. Sometimes when you turn it on, the lights will go on, but it doesn't want to do it. I think I'm well warded. I'll be playing with it because I just got it in the mail. And she'll have hers, her 360 periscope, and some other fun things. We'll have probably Steve there snapping pictures, looking for orbs and things like that. But you know what I did today? I spent a few hours watching like My Ghost Story, these shows on like My Ghost Story and things like that. Oh, Rhonda's in South Carolina. Oh, welcome. What we need today is our two fans in Ireland to pop in and tell us some stories, because I was just reading The Legend of the Banshee. Do you know anything about the Banshee, Janine?
I have the experience with just kind of seeing the TV shows and the movie stuff, but we do have a spirit out at the Presidio here in San Diego that mimics what a banshee would do. And she's actually
Oh,
quite terrifying.
oh my goodness. Can you tell us a little bit about what she does? It appears to people or what? Does she
Yeah,
scream?
so she does scream,
Oh,
and she waits until she's right in your face to do it. And the way she carries herself is like you would see in the movies a banshee coming towards you, like floating through the air. And she's been seen, there's a giant brick cross that was built on the site. She's been seen over in that area. But where I've seen her the majority of the times is you'll see what looks like just a flowing dress and legs kind of floating across the parking lot. And then next thing you know, if you're at the top of the tower that's there, which has a pentagram paved into it,
it does?
it does.
Oh my gosh.
I'll post pictures to this after the
Okay.
show of the
Okay.
pentagram and the tower as well. But she will all of a sudden start to form her full body, and as she floats towards you, she'll get right within a few feet of your face and just scream.
Oh my gosh. Um, Now, do you think that she's not mimicking like somebody's going to die? Why do you think she's screaming? Do you get any psychic thing from her as to what her deal is?
She doesn't like what's been done with the area. It's more of a tourist attraction now, and I think it's just to scare people off because, of course, the banshee comes to
Hmm.
take you away, correct? So it's going to scare people away.
Yeah.
And people call her the Witch of Presidio.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know this. I'm wondering if there's anything written because I'd sure like to read about her. The little bit that I was looking at the Irish Banshee, um, she comes, beautiful woman wearing a shroud, a pale woman in white dress with long red hair, a woman with long silver dress and silver hair, a headless woman carrying a bowl of blood that
Oh,
is
wow.
naked from the waist up, an old woman with frightening red eyes in a green dress and long white hair. Oh, who does that remind you of? An old woman with a veil covering her face, dressed in black with long gray hair. And so it does say that they scream through the night and that they do talk about good and bad because they're saying, of course, their myths and their stories also have one that's good, but they always herald the death in the family, which is scary anyway. But yeah, in the movies, they're something that you want to run from. Isn't there like they scream and then the coach comes with the horses and they're
Come
going to
to
take the
take,
the
yes,
person. Oh my God. I mean,
yeah.
great, welcome to being Irish, I guess.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
the woman in Presidio is very pale skin with the long red hair.
Oh my gosh, she's got red hair.
Yes,
Oh, good.
ma'am.
It's not me. Well, I can understand that when a spirit is very uncomfortable, like your grandfather in his room having the things moved out is hard for them. They want their things to stay, especially if they're staying around. We don't want you touching our stuff, but they can be effective in scaring people off, but probably not forever. But I can understand that we go, what would really scare them? Like how ghosts are supposed to say boo,
Right.
Casper. Boo. Except for the banshee that would be freaky. I have not had anything scream in my face. I would be fine. I think it would be a little disconcerting. I would be surprised,
It's
totally
startling for
surprised.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting. And her face, like she is just like angry looking. So it's like, whoa, hold on a second, what am I seeing?
Well, when I saw the hag, yeah, they're very scowly. They're very mean looking and scary looking. And that's what they want to present. You know, you don't, what are you going to do? I almost said, that's the power they have is to scare. But that stupid, I'm a dumb hag, she froze me, which really made me mad. I didn't think anything would do that to me ever. I really didn't. I keep thinking about it lately, going, for Pete's sakes. I was watching one of the ghost story shows, and there was a seasoned paranormal investigator, and he went through a heck of a time when one presented, and he got almost fainty, like fainting, and he got sick, and the girl, she threw up twice, and they had to get out of the area, but he had a really horrible time. I think it was one in a bar, and he's just saying, I never ever want to go back there again. And I'm going, seriously, you're a paranormal investigator,
And
you
it
would go
makes me more
back.
angry. It makes me more
Yeah.
angry when something like that happens. Like at the theater when I couldn't enter the room and my feet wouldn't move, that was frustrating. Out at Pioneer Park, there was one tombstone that would not let me within 4 feet of it. His name was Elmer something. He was a general or captain in the military. That kind of thing makes me want to push harder. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine. I don't know. Not much scares me. So
Well, with the Elmer, how was he keeping you away? Was he making you sick or giving you pain? What was going on?
my feet felt like they were cemented to the ground. I could not move my legs.
Hmm. I get that because my whole body, except for like my lips, part of my lips, I could not move. And I was just pissed off royally. And so what dispelled her and made her just kind of go woof and out, because she was like ectoplasm. She was like smoke, but you could see her features and everything. And I saw her form, and then get the scary face. And then I go, well, I'm going to go put my hand through her. And then I'm like, damn it.
You can't move.
I
Darn.
know. So I know what you're saying. But in that, the last time we were together and we had the problem in the room, that I don't know. I just go, I was a little swoony, and I'm like, mad again. Why is this happening to me? And so I don't know where you were. I had all of a sudden, guests dropping
Like
and
flies.
getting out. I know, getting out of the room. And so I go, shoot, I have to leave. And so it was like a survival mode, I guess. I was like, get me out of here. And then when I got out, my knees went like this. They went weak. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to the floor. I'm not going to go to the floor. So that is really tough when we think that we put our protections in and all of that. But I would like to go see, what was her name again? The Witch of the Presidio
The Witch of
Witch?
Presidio. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
definitely have to take a field trip out there.
Yeah, let's do that. But how odd to have a pentagram in the stonework, correct?
Yeah, it's bricked in on the roof.
Whoa. We have to look that up. Maybe it meant something, different. I don't know. That's
And
amazing.
what I've read on the area is that when it was a Presidio, that was used as a jail cell. So because there is a room in the tower, and then they have the top lookout area, and that's where the pentagram is paved.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to look into that, but I would really like to go. I would really like to see her and experience the scream. Now, does the scream seem like it goes through you, or you
It
just
does.
hear it?
It
Goes
feels
through.
like energy pushing through your body.
Yeah, that's what I perceive a banshee doing, is to just really penetrate and go through you. And
It
there
does
has
give
go
you
ahead.
it does give you the sensation like when a spirit is going through you, but not as intense. So it's like that buzzing, tingling,
Okay.
can't
Right.
move almost type sensation for
Yeah.
that moment.
A lot of times when things happen metaphysically or paranormal stuff, you know how they say it's bone chilling? It is. It
It
goes
really is.
through you. It's just like crazy. And so I understand that term, bone chilling. Yeah, it goes right through you. So I am sympathetic. A long time ago, most of the time, I was never sympathetic to the ghost hunters on TV. Yeah, like I'd be sitting in there yelling from the couch, you sissy, go, run,
Well, move forward.
yeah, you're going
Go
the
chase
wrong
it.
way. And so, things like that. But I think I'm just started watching literally the last couple days the ghost stories, because when they're ghost hunting, you know, I got to tell you, I don't really see a lot of evidence. Sometimes I can really hear the EVP and go, wow. But I was watching something today and they're saying, like, the little girl is saying, I want to go to my father and play the ball with the ball or something like that. And you're hearing, and I'm going like, what? That didn't sound
That
like
is the
anything.
Yeah, that is the main issue with like the shows, because I'm going to tell you, we can go to locations over and over and over again, and we'll have personal experiences where we hear disembodied voices or we see a spirit, but it doesn't come out on film and it does not come out on recording every time. So for them to get the amount of evidence that they're stating that they're getting, it would take a lot of time and
Right.
luck, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because in all the years I have done the paranormal investigations, I have a total of 4 photos that I would say legitly have a spirit in them. And I have maybe a total of 15 EVPs where you can clearly hear what the spirit is saying. Most of them are not class A. You can tell something's talking in the background, but I wouldn't even try to venture to tell you what they're saying. And on the
Right.
shows, what they do with you is they'll play it over and over again, and they'll keep saying what they want you to hear, and eventually you'll start to kind of hear it.
Yeah. Because I was sitting there each time going, are they nuts? You can't get that from that. You can't.
Right.
It sounds like a toilet flushing. I don't get it. But yeah, so I didn't put a lot into that. But when I started watching the shows where the people are telling um, their own experiences, in the buildings and seeing, ghosts. This one guy saw a man and got eye contact with him, and the man was solid, so you couldn't see through him, and because you can see the solid and you can see through them, and he said he literally blinked and the guy was gone. Yep. And I go, I believe that guy. I believe when they're doing the shows, there are people that look totally normal, and they are, maybe even a little uncomfortable telling this to the world, but you're sitting there going, okay, I have belief in these people telling their stories, and those are amazing. But it's really hard when, in some of these shows that I was watching, they have to have something happen, otherwise who cares about the show that much, as far as well, they didn't get anything, but they're all running. That's exciting. They're all yelling, or they have a crazy EVP. And I'm just sitting there going, And what gets me too, Janine, is the orbs, where everybody thinks if they take a picture, the orbs are spirits. And that's not true, you guys. Because if you have been around where there's moisture in the air or insects in the air, things like that, they're going to look like orbs, especially the moisture. Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever captured an orb on camera that I would say was caused by a spirit, we literally saw the light ball moving through the area when we took the picture. We could physically see it. But really, to prove that is an actual orb, it would have been better if we had video recorded the light ball moving through so everybody could see it. But when you're watching those shows and they're using the night vision camera, this is the thing. Bugs move in certain weird patterns, which they'll try to tell you, oh, look, it came out of my head and it moved slowly this way and then shot away. But bugs will do that.
Yeah, or it'll be right, land on you. Look at, they went to your hand. I'm like, yeah, gonna bite you. Get
I mean,
away.
we caught a really cool orb on film out at Pioneer that was clearly a bug. But the way it was caught was so perfect and such a great timing and location to the lens that it looked like a Pokemon. It literally looked like a Pokemon. We were
That's
like,
cute.
what is that? But obviously it was a bug.
Right.
So and if you're moving around through areas, especially cemeteries, you're going to be kicking up dust. You're going to be kicking up the moisture from the grass. So yeah, orbs I don't really give too much credit for when I'm doing
Yeah.
evidence. Do I believe that we can catch spirits on film looking in orb form? Yes, I do
Mhm.
have one photo where you can see a total of, it's like 5 orbs, but they're forming the shape of a body, a head, arms, torso, and legs.
Wow. A lot of times people will take a picture and it'll look like a person that's passed in it. So we need to look at that
Mm-hmm.
seriously because we're communicating with the other side. We know that they'll come in pictures and things like that. So I also agree. I think that there needs to be more, education as to how to know that which ones are spirits and over which ones might be moisture drops or insects.
And on my
Um,
spirit page, I do have some photos that give um, a description of what was caught to cause that orb. Like we were walking through, this is what dust looks like when it forms an orb. This is what a bug looks like when it forms an orb. But Chris Oliver has also caught an orb out at Mount Hope Cemetery where clearly it had a nose, eyes, the woman's hair curled a certain way in the orb. And when we went back to check on that grave, it was a female named Elizabeth that was buried there. So,
oh,
you orbs can be spirits, but most of the time.
yeah, we need to show some of those on our one show. We can do a bunch of photos and show those. Um, let's see. Julie did let Rhonda know that Banshee is Banshee, gold
Yes.
star. Also, Julie says, does that mean it's an evil spirit when it affects you that much? No, not at
Mm-mm.
all. When you have, Julie, if you have a spirit go through you, it's going to feel, even if it's grandma, grandpa, or somebody like that, it's going to feel very buzzy and alive, like live energy, and it's going to just go through you. Now, granted, they can go through your shoulder or they can go through part of you, but I had it pretty much almost
Whole
all of
body.
me. And so it just has that kind of feeling. Now, what we were talking about, Julie, is like when I experienced the hag, she was a bad thing. She was a bad entity. She's negative energy. So yeah, I was experienced that with her. But they do different things like Janine, they pull energy from things around them and from you and from others. So you're walking into a thing of energy moving and stuff, and it's going to affect you. Some people are going to get headaches. Some people are going to get weak kneed
Nausea.
because there is all kinds of things happening. So absolutely, it doesn't mean it's an evil entity or spirit. It just means the energy is doing different things. Now, we can walk into a place where there's a mad or an angry um, uh, entity or spirit or ghost, I should say. We encountered that one time in a cemetery where the male ghost, almost pushed somebody down, and that was witnessed by at least 6 adult people. that were behind that person. And so, they can be pushy and they can be mad, and they can pull your hair. A lot of times when you're in the cemetery, they're just saying, like, especially when we're leaving and going to the cars, our clients will go, "Oh, I just got touched," or a little pull of the hair,
On the
like,
hair. Yep.
"Bye, I'm here," and they do that. And Janine, do spirits remember you when you've been at the place over and over again? Because I know
They
the answer
do.
to this.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I was just out at Alpine Cemetery. We had a disc that helps to magnify sound. And I said, Chris, point it over there. Somebody is talking. And so each of us had one headphone bud in our ear. And as soon as we pointed over there and turned it on, it said, shh, Janine. Like I was interrupting their conversation.
Oh no, no. Well, I feel the funny thing is like one medium friend of mine will be out at the Caronot or over at Dearborn, where I really work when I go there. I take some time to anoint the graves. There's a lot of we'll see these scrabblies and these gumbies, I'll call them, the little dark energy things. And they're there because the parents are there and they're grieving, right? And they're crying. And there's a lot of that stuff going on. There's also visuals there because we'll have families that sit there every day. They'll bring the ice chest and the chairs and all
Mm-hmm.
that, and they'll sit there. So there's a lot of emotion there. So I go and I work there and I clear it out and I anoint the graves and I do all of that. And so whenever they're there, the spirits are asking on the equipment, my name will come up, my name will come up, my name will come up. And they're asking for you. And so they do remember you. And I imagine you guys are known by a lot of the spirits, because you're out there quite often.
Yeah, our names will come through the Ovilus or it'll come up on the phone apps, and um, they'll speak to us where people around will hear the disembodied voice saying our names. And
Mhm.
yeah, they do get to know you.
Especially like your name is more unique, you know.
Yeah, you don't
So
really hear that very often. And so when that comes up on the Ovilus, obviously that's not a name that they're going to put into the dictionary. So when
right.
that one comes through, you're like, okay, that's definitely spirit. Or like when my sister goes out and we hear Jennifer, it's a more common name, so
Mhm.
it could be, just coming through. But yeah, Janine, and on the obvious, it will sometimes, like especially the phone app, spell out the name. And there are so many different ways to spell Janine, and it will spell it Janine every time.
Mhm. Mhm. That's amazing. I love communication with the other side. It's what we're all about and what we're going to be doing next week. I can't wait.
Super excited for everybody to be able to experience that, because a lot of people have a fear of seance, like it's something scary, but in reality it's very touching, very emotional, very loving moments that we experience with these spirits, and sharing that with their family members.
Right. And what I really like about ours is with our group, we can get the names and we can get descriptions and we can give messages. And there's so much validation to that. And our last spirit circle, I was filmed and I made a snippet of it and I put it on the fan page. So I don't know if anybody got to see that, but it was the male ghost who had the little boy. Then we tried a soul rescue.
Charles, I believe his name was. Yes, we did the soul rescue that night.
Yeah, and so that was really interesting. So I did get to get that whole thing on so people could see what it's like. Let's see, we had some comments, and we want to get to it because we're running a little bit out of time. We have like 10 minutes. Um, all scary regardless, and Julie said. Rhonda says, I asked my mom to visit me in 2 nights after I asked. She came to me when I was sleeping and she woke me up. I felt her and all her love. It was cloudy gray, I think, if I remember right, and it was shaping her face, but it was amazing. But it did scare her a little. Oh my goodness. You
Well, the
know,
unknown is definitely something that can, be scary at first. And, it's with spirits, they can come to us in so many different forms. And so if it's not clearly like, hey, well, that's mom, I can see where that would be scary for some people.
yeah, but I do know a lot of people that, saw their grandfather, saw their father, saw their mother, just like solid, And it's funny, but this is the way it happens. Sometimes people come in as being see-through, and some
Hmm.
come in solid. In my family, we see both. I don't see the solid; I see the see-through.
I see
And
solid like I'm looking at you. That is typically how I see them,
mhm.
but I have seen them see through. I've seen them just in the shape of a white shadow or a dark shadow, and I've also seen them how they looked when they passed. So they kind of come in different forms.
If I do a past life reading, and I just did one the other day, I did a reading and somebody says, I didn't know you do past lives. And I said, no, yeah, I do. And so they're very interesting because I will be conversing with you in your past life, and then they'll show me everything, how they lived, and here was my family, and give a message. It's really interesting how it all works. So that's why we have to be open minded and don't set limits to what we see and hear and how we can communicate with the other side for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely. The one thing that happened to me, Rhonda said nothing scary at all, so amazing and beautiful and healing. And that's wonderful. And that's the way it's going to be because they've got that protection and that love there. The one thing that happened to me when I was in Arizona, and I'm very accustomed to the spirits and everything. They wanted to alert me to go downstairs, and that's when they started bouncing the bed. And I was
Mm.
laying there with the bed going like bouncy, 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 bouncy. And of course, the clock was straight up midnight. And I said, I don't do midnight, and just let me sleep a couple minutes and I'll go see what's wrong. And so I, closed my eyes and again, get up,
It's like
get up.
no.
I thought it was an earthquake because, we know what that's like.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I got up and I went down, and of course there was a problem. There was a little emergency going on. And so, so I love the psychic alarm that comes down in let's say my abdomen, and it makes me know something's going on. But that night they made sure that they woke me up. And actually, I wasn't that asleep, but they made sure that I got up and I went down because I was needed. So that was kind of different. That was neat. But I believe that was more in the angelic, the angels
Hmm.
that were waking me up. I get that kind of vibe more than it was somebody else. But it could have been my mother-in-law that had passed that was trying to wake me up. But it was pretty strong, you guys, to have something literally I'm not going to say shaking your bed because it wasn't like my bed was going like this. It was bouncing on the mattress, and I was literally going like this when I was laying down. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. And then finally, when they really went, get up now, I went down. My father in law was in hospice, and I was alone in the house with them. And he indeed was trying to get up and totally needed me. So that was crazy. And so with these experiences, Janine, though it gives us confidence that we know that there is an afterlife, there are spirits, there are ghosts, and we can communicate with the other side, which we are going to be wrapping this up right now, but we are so excited about next week. And I hope we can fit everything in 1 hour because we want to go through as many messages and everything. So if you're planning on being there with us, please have names of loved ones or this or that or the other. And we will go ahead and connect as to many people as we can and get messages. And but we will, we'll show you how we open and how we do it. We'll see if any looky-loos will come in. A lot of times I'll be doing readings and I'm getting, exactly the brother, the mother, the whatever. And then we get this odd one, don't we, Janine? And we go, well, who does that person belong to? It's like,
Right. And I think because we're open and the energy is there, they do. We have some passerbys that come through.
absolutely. Looky-loos. And that's always fun, though. But we just say go and light and love. It's fine. But we do want them to cross over at some point. We want everybody to transition. And so we do get all kinds of different people that come in. If you guys put your Ovilus on or you put your Ghost app on, you can get some crazy stories. Murder, this and that and the other, and all this dramatic stuff. So, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad book to what the Ovilus says.
Right.
They give you whole long stories. And
they do.
Yeah, we had a battlefield up here. And the first time I'm working with a Ghost app and it starts talking, it's telling me, and that was the Ovilus, it's telling me all about a captain and then a sword and somebody got stabbed, their murder, and that there was a treasure. Well, my grandfather told me about the battlefield treasure, and he found it when he was a kid, and he was born in, was about 1905. Well, no, he came over in 1905 from Oregon in a covered wagon thing. And as a kid, elementary school type age, he found the treasure on what's now the Cloverdale Ranch, and on and on and on. Of course, they hid it. Him and his friend, because they were playing hooky. But so this Ovilus was telling me this whole big story, and I was like, wow, that could be pretty interesting, especially you and Chris. When you turn it on, you guys get all the good things. Julie wants to know when your book's coming out, Janine.
Almost there. It should be out next month, so we will definitely let you guys know as soon as it is available for purchase on Amazon.
Do you want to know something weird? Julie has no icon picture. So she has a profile picture that says that's awesome, and you came up as a ghost, Julie. You got a blank a box there. Isn't that weird? That's strange. A good thing to end on tonight. we have a ghost in the mix. Well, this is really fun talking about. Now I got to go to the Presidio. I've got to see the witch. We're going to take a lot of pictures.
Definitely a field trip out to the San Pasqual battlefields, because I've had some great experiences there, which will also be in the book that's coming out. I
grew up going there, and we would just stop and walk around all the time. And before there was any safari park or anything like that, we were always out there because my grandfather would always talk about that area. But yeah, we got to go out there and take lots of pictures and do some stuff. Julie says weird. I know, Julie, you still don't have. Now Teresa doesn't. Teresa's a ghost. Thanks for the show. Good night, Teresa. Teresa's a ghost. I don't know. Is it grandpa? Is it whatever? It's telling me it's nobody on my side. It could definitely be grandpa. There we go. He's like,
But definitely we'll have to do the San Pasqual battlefield. I like the area because they have the Indian burial ground right there, and then if you go a little bit further up, they have the San Pasqual Cemetery, which has had some really good activity there as well. So
we should go up before the heat sets in, because we're in a desert region. We're lucky that we are not in a drought anymore, because it rained so much. Supposed to rain 2 times this week.
Yep,
I'm over it. I'm over it. But I think somewhere here it was 80 degrees. But
it was 82 today over here.
Yeah, we do have to watch the rattlesnakes. Now, my mother was driving the old road from Ramona to down San Pasquale,
Mhm.
and she said that all the cars were parked and they were out and they were looking at the road, and she said there was an albino uh, rattlesnake that stretched across all the lanes.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and she said everybody was just watching it. And me, I'm like, well, why didn't somebody, run it over or something, what was the
Because I
deal?
don't do snakes. Yeah.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh my gosh, you're not understanding how big the snake was, that it would have punctured the tires." We all let it, which was good. I'm so glad they let it go. I was just a kid, Yeah, run it over, mom. Now we're getting into conservation. They let the albino snake, but she said it was over 2 lanes. So I never forgot that, as well as my grandfather saying wait out towards Santa Isabel, that he worked on the county roads, and they encountered such a big rattlesnake that they actually put a curve in the road to go leave him alone. So I'm like,
Oh.
okay. Um, so
Well,
we will
we
be
were
careful.
stalked by a mountain lion out that area one night too, and had to get to our car. So you definitely have to be careful with wildlife when you're out and about.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now mountain lions, great. Sometimes those things are scarier than ghosts, of course. All right.
Definitely.
Janine, it is time to go. And I would like you to stay in the lobby, but we're going to say goodbye to the viewers. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching. And we appreciate you so much. You just don't know. We're so grateful. Aren't we, Janine?
Yes, thank you guys for joining us every week, and we hope we see you for many weeks to come.
Yes. Okay. Good night, everyone. Stay
Good
safe.
night.